And we're back at it. Kyle, it's been a hot minute. We've been on a hiatus. We are both extremely tired. Today is the hottest day that we've had in a long time. And like knuckleheads, we both decided to do yard work independent from each other. We didn't come up with that plan. And then I did a garage workout after. And he
skipped mine.
Yeah, he skipped his today. So I am like close to brain dead. We're both pretty tired, but we're gonna do this anyways. We took a hiatus because we got sick. We put some stuff on the back burner. We made a website. We did a bunch of stuff. We needed to take some time to kind of nurture ourselves. We burn ourselves out. We just kind of had to realign, get some back end stuff going. We're the only two guys doing anything for this. So I've said it before, it's like, why don't people have YouTube channels? Well, there's a lot to this. There's a lot of work in this, and we were picking up some stuff on the backside. And that sounds like a terrible dad joke waiting to happen, but that's okay. I've already released it.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're coming back at this. We're doing a whole new series of Chatcasts because when we were de facto youth leaders, we felt like we did a really good job communicating and helping the people that we taught. And we kind of want to offer that to the world as we feel that there is a void in content, in voices, in ideas that are healthy, that are pushing people in the right direction, that aren't creating enemies out of people, that aren't trying to necessarily disturb anything, but more so strengthen who you are. So the advice and the stuff that we like to do more so comes from a point of inward reflection that will eventually lead to how you want to outwardly express yourself. But that inward reflection, I feel like, and I think Kyle will echo this statement, is that it's for everybody, right? That's for any gender, any race, any creed, any level of education, any walk of life. That inward reflection, that inward thinking and healing and perspective will help with what you decide to do outwardly. I don't really want to aim to influence your outward perspective. I want to help your inward perspective be realigned and healthy so that you can determine how you want to interface with the world and help people. And then your outward expression, which will be up to you, will be better equipped, right? So the first thing is, I'm a nobody, he's a nobody. Together, we multiply our factors of being nobodies. Yeah. So why should you listen to us, right? I think it's an extremely valid question. It's a question I ask myself before I decide to listen to anybody, and from online, from my own life. And I think that's something that he would recommend that you do too. So we wanted to answer that question, why listen to us at all? Who are we? What's the point? We've established up to this point. I feel like we're like relaunching, so I got to remember we've talked about some of this stuff before. And so we're going to probably backtrack, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's okay, right? But anyways, why should you listen to us? Now, with that, I also want to point out that doesn't mean that we aim to have you disregard anybody else that you seek advice from or seek instructions from or learn from currently. That's, again, not our aim. Isn't to deconstruct anything that you currently have going on. It's to reinforce or to maybe give you new ideas and open up new doors. That's more so where we're coming from. And so before I pass the buck to Kyle, a lot of times I come up with a Chatcast, and I'm a person that likes to try to think of fairness, and so I don't think that it's fair for him to have to answer the question that I've come up with first. So I'm going to lay the groundwork, per usual, on why you should listen to us. I'm going to just keep it simple and very short. The reason that I feel like you should listen to what I have to say and what he has to say and what together we present is because very rarely, and especially in this day and age, but very rarely throughout any course of history, are you going to interact with or find somebody, a group of people that come from a point of sincerely wanting to help you become better. Often, the person's message is paired with some other motives that are underpinning their words and the directives that they're giving and the different things that they're offering up to you, right? So here's for instance, when you're talking to a youth group leader or a pastor at a church or whatever that is, that person kind of always has this tint to what they say and how they behave that is driven by their worldview. Now, again, that's not necessarily wrong, right? But it's there, right? And the same thing when you're dealing with anyone that's politically motivating you. They have a vested interest on preserving their political party's interest, and to try to get you young conservatives or young liberals for this thing, and then that person's actions and their words and the things that they're doing have this underpinning again. Not that that's necessarily wrong, but it comes from that place. And then where do they learn that from, right? That's something else you got to ask yourself. Or when you're dealing with some kind of fitness or health gurus or yogis or whatever they are, it's like they have these things. If you really start to pay attention to how they offer stuff up, there's always this extra thing that's motivating that they're trying to establish something within you to get you to conform to their church, their political view, their worldview. I don't think we're going to be immune to that.
Right.
But we are actively trying not to do that, which is why I feel confident in saying that when you listen to me, when you listen to him, when you listen to us together, we are not trying to motivate you to become a Christian, even though we are Christians. We're not trying to motivate you to have any of our broken, mismatched political views that we have. You know, it's like, because I think I consider myself moderate, slightly right-leaning, right? I think Kyle is pretty well moderate. We have more of like social liberal views and more like fiscally conservative views. And we're kind of just like this homogenization when we come to that. But that's as much as you'll probably hear us talk about political stuff, because we really don't like that, right? But the reason I'm bringing up who we are and what we think about is because it's important for you to know that about anybody that you're going to be taking any kind of advice from. But we're going to try our best not to have that push through, because we believe that we are propagating truths that have a universal quality that apply to everybody. That if you're a Muslim or a Christian, the advice that we would want to give you is just to be a better version of that. If you're black or white, it would just be to be a better version of that. If you're male, female, or other. I don't know if that's appropriate to say. I bet we just got canceled. But like whatever that is, like we want that advice to be good for all of that. A young person, an older person. What we want to try to propagate should be viewed to be, the city person, the rural person, the university person, the blue collar guy. We want it to just cover the board. I've been rambling. I've been talking for like 8 minutes, I think.
Killing it though.
Thank you. I want to hear from player 2. I want to hear what he's up to. Kyle, do you have anything to add to why you should listen to us? And was there any thoughts that you had while you were sitting there listening to my ramblings?
Well, okay, so basically the whole just like we really care and like we're really trying to help. I'm gonna come at that from a different direction, but basically say the same thing.
Yes, make sure you talk loud enough for the
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I get mumbly whenever I like stretch a thought out too much, so I really apologize. But my thing was like, I always feel like this burden to help people sort like issues and like sort problems. And whenever I see somebody struggling or confused or something like that, because I've been confused a lot in my life, because I identify with that frustration and that confusion and the desire to set things and sort things, like, I don't know why, I just feel really gravitated to people in that. And so I've always wanted to help people figure out problems and stuff like that. And the thing that I always struggled with, just being completely vulnerable here, the thing that I've struggled with like, why should I listen to your advice kind of thing, is because I feel like, okay, I'm not anybody, like I'm not trying to say I'm smart, and I feel like if I tell you, I feel like this is good advice, you'd be like, oh, he thinks he's so smart kind of thing. And I was like, I don't want to be arrogant or prideful, because then that like undermines everything that I want to do. And I think that the reason that like we are different or have been different in the areas that we've been placed in is that when it comes to solving problems, we're not trying to shove everybody into this one lane to drive. Like we're not telling everybody, okay, we're taking you from here and you from here and you from here and your problems over here, and disregarding the unique experiences of each individual life, and we're gonna smash you all together in this place.
We're not used car salesmen trying to meet a Dodge Caravan quota.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is not necessarily, it's not about giving answers so much as, we'll give answers and stuff like that, but it's not so much as forcing and being like, this is my brand of truth and this is what I think is the strongest, most potent brand of truth. And that's not what we're doing. Is like, we're trying to give people problem solving tools so that they can work things out and find like truth and stuff. We're just like helping people sort information, giving them advice and truths and stuff like that help them deal with what they're going through. So I may not currently be or have ever experienced the same kind of adversity or like pain or whether it be physical or emotional that somebody in Arizona or something like that right now experiences in their life. But when it comes to sorting out their emotions and their desires, I've done that. Yeah. And so we can meet somewhere in a sort of like shared space and talk about that, where I'm not stepping on his I'm not saying, hey, you don't have a right to feel that way about that because you should feel this way. It's like, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say, so if this is your goal and this is the way you're thinking, then that's probably influencing how you're feeling here. So that might be why you're feeling that way. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And that kind of is where I feel like, your and my friendship has been really unique in the sphere of like helping people, is that we both have that same kind of mindset. And so we're not really micromanaging people's problems so much as, listening and helping and doing it in a way that is fueled purely by like just empathizing with people's confusions and feelings and things like that. And then also having that strong desire and pull to like help people pull themselves out of that, not necessarily to be the ones or be the heroes to be like, I saved them, help people save, themselves kind of deal.
Yeah. Because just by talking about something and opening the floor up to discussing an issue is the beginning of solving it. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, what we're really good at doing, is we can talk about this and then the idea is flowing, and then that starts the process of figuring it out. And that mindset of, we got to solve it now, and these are the tools that my church, that my political view, that my university, that name whatever institution, this is the tool set they have, and this is how we solve your problem right now, right tonight, right now. Yeah. It's like, nah, that doesn't work. I don't like that. What we want to do is just, and it's exactly what you just said, I'm just reiterating it in my own way, is just to get that conversation started, because often that is the beginning. When you're open about, and I don't want to say cavalier, but you kind of takes the pressure off. Like, you have this like really deep, complicated thing that you're talking about, and just bringing it up sometimes is really hard to do. Yeah. And then when you just start to talk about it openly and throwing ideas around, it kind of makes you a little more comfortable with battling the threshold guardian in your life, right? Yeah. Just starting that, and then starting that dialogue where you're throwing different ideas at it. And that's where I think the success lies, and what I think we're absolutely great at doing. Yeah. So, hey, listen, we're gonna do what we always do, awkwardly and abruptly in these, because we don't want to go too further. And as you can see that at some point in time, we'll probably be talking about this stuff for hours on end, and hopefully you guys will be sending us plenty of hate mail. So with that, we're gonna see you in the next Chatcast. Stick around for all the other unique content that we have. I don't know, maybe it's not that unique, but it's unique to me because I barely leave the house. Bye. Bye.